I'm going to unpack today about Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, the man who, in my opinion, financed what the crime that just happened to Bill Belichick. And that this crime and this financing of this crime, denying Bill Belichick first ballot induction into the Hall of Fame, has been bought, paid for, influenced, financed by Robert Kraft out of pure jealousy and envy and retribution. Who gets credit for the Patriots dynasty? Robert Kraft wants most of it. Robert Kraft wants more of it than that was given to Bill Belichick. He wants the Patriots dynasty to be remembered as what Robert Kraft and Tom Brady did together. And Robert Kraft, justifiably, this is where I will justify him. For some reason, he's been denied entry into the Hall of Fame. And he's been on a public relations campaign for the last year or two to make sure he gets into the Hall of Fame. And he wanted, and he wants to, and he is going to get into the Hall of Fame without having to share the stage with his former head coach, Bill Belichick. This is my prediction. Robert Kraft will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. That will be announced on February the 5th, and he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this coming summer, and he won't be sharing that stage with Bill Belichick, and that's exactly what he wanted. And he was willing to influence and influence. The whole thing's been financed. I'm just sorry. It's all been financed. The Bill Polian, the former Colts general manager, the former Buffalo Bills general manager, he's taking the heat for this. Everybody's talking about Bill Polian and his role in this. And Bill Polian came out yesterday and lied. Oh, I supported Bill Belichick. I voted for Bill Belichick. It wasn't me. I heard people talking about it, but it wasn't me because the initial stories came out that like Bill Polian was telling everybody, let's punish Robert Kraft. I mean, not Robert Kraft. Let's punish Bill Belichick. Let's make him sit a year for Spygate and for Deflategate. And Bill Polian initially told some reporter from Sports Illustrated, it wasn't me. I voted for Bill Belichick. And then when people circled back, well, I think I voted for Belichick. That's a confession. That's Bunk and McNulty. Bunk and McNulty, the detectives from my favorite TV show, The Wire, they put Bill Polian into the box, the interview room, started hitting him with questions, and he folded up real quick. Well, I think I voted for Bill Belichick. I'm 95% sure. This man can't remember what he did a day or two ago. Are you kidding me? I can't remember. You know what? I think I voted for Kamala Harris, but I'm not sure. I may have accidentally pulled the Donald Trump lever. This is comical, but this is all Robert Kraft. From the books that are being written recently about the Patriots dynasty to, and could we put up, that's Robert Kraft, the Patriots owner, but could we put up my crime syndicate chart? The Kraft family syndicate. And there's some names on here of people that I like and respect. At the top of that list would be Tony Dungy. And so, but I'm just a detective right now. and I got to keep it real. And I don't want to smear the name of Tony Dungy, because Tony Dungy is a believer and he's a great coach, great man. But I got to keep it real about, like, what's going on here. Because let's just think this through. You got Robert Kraft and the Kraft family syndicate that can't stand Bill Belichick and has been at war with Bill Belichick for the last 2 or 3 years, blames Bill Belichick for running off Tom Brady. And I want you to think, as we sit here right now, I believe it's 11:10 a.m. Eastern time. And when last I checked, 15, 20 minutes ago, have we heard a statement from Robert Kraft saying, man, this is a tragedy what happened to Bill Belichick? Of course he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Have we heard a statement like that from Robert Kraft? Isn't that what an innocent man would do? A coach that took his franchise to 10 Super Bowls, won 6 Super Bowls, gets denied first-ballot Hall of Fame entry, and we haven't heard a statement from Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft should have put out a statement last night, no different than Jimmy Johnson and all these other people that came out and put out very quick statements. Like, this is a tragedy. You've just diminished the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is a disgrace. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Hadley, Peyton, Luke, the chat, anybody. If I'm wrong, and has Robert Kraft said anything, last I checked 15 minutes before this show started, we hadn't heard a word from Robert Kraft. Let me tell you who we also haven't heard a word from. And y'all hop on Twitter and confirm this. And I'm telling you, I love and respect Tony Dungy. But he's a coach that competed against Bill Belichick, was a super successful coach at the same time as Bill Belichick. Jimmy Johnson runs out and puts out a statement and makes it real clear that a crime has happened here. Have we heard a word from Tony Dungy at this point, as of 11:12 Eastern time on Wednesday? No statement from Tony Dungy. And so that's where, so you got Robert Kraft as the boss, and you got two underbosses, Bill Polian and Tony Dungy, that work together with the Colts. And obviously, Bill Polian is the main person here. And I called Tony Dungy an underboss, but what I'm calling is the consigliere, the advisor, the Tom Hagen, if you know the Godfather movie. He's not out on the streets doing hits or anything. He's a consultant behind the scenes. And so when they started with this Bill Polian and started with this, like, hey man, Spygate, Deflategate, Belichick cheated and he should sit out a year. He shouldn't be first ballot Hall of Fame. You run that by the consigliere. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Yeah. He should be, he's a great coach, but this cheating thing, we've decided that the punishment that the NFL handed out in real time wasn't enough. And so we should exact an extra penalty on Bill Belichick. That's what's happened here.